This is the first ever Etsy audit for stores that focus on 3D printed products. We just reached 10,000 sales on our Kramer Loop Etsy store and 1,000 sales on our second store. That's why we thought it's time to help other Etsy stores to get to this level or do it faster than we did. Similar to Alex Hormozy doing business audits and Caleb Hammer doing financial audits, it's finally time for Etsy audits. But who are we to judge, you might ask? If you're new here, I'm Jan and we run the most automated 3D print farm in Switzerland. We're on track to hit $500,000 in revenue by selling, you guessed it, 3D printed products. Our mission is to help you start and grow your 3D printing business with CAD courses, automatic printing, and now Etsy audits as well. A couple of weeks ago, I made a poll in our school community with the question, how can I support them the best to be more successful? A step-by-step how to sell on Etsy came out number 1. That's when I locked myself in a room and collected everything I know and consulted other successful 3D print stores about how to succeed on Etsy. To have people take action, I collected 91 action items as a checklist. This can be freely downloaded with a link in the description below. Number 2 on the list was an Etsy audit. And that's exactly what we are doing today. The store we are going to audit is called Juco Store from Marcus, who is also part of our school community. Before we dive in, I want to be very clear. This format is an experiment. I haven't seen an Etsy audit anywhere on YouTube that is focused on 3D printed products. So let's find out together what the best format is. Today's audit will be split into 5 sections. First impressions, metrics, main growth blockers, competitor research, and the audit store. So let's jump right in. I open the jucostore.etsy.com. Wow, okay. The first thing I see here is the logo and also the banner. First of all, it's nice to have a color palette that leaves impression. We have this nice contrast of yellow and pink. We will see afterwards how we can leverage that. But we can also see Lisa Simpson. Well, it's nice to have an element that people can recognize. But this character is definitely owned by Disney or Fox. Of course, it belongs to the Simpsons series, and what's even more important, it's an instant ban risk. So that's actually on our action item list from the Etsy blueprint. Number 47 is to do a copyright compliance check. While his Etsy store is still small, this might not be a problem right now. But as soon as it gets a bit of traction, more sales and more publicity, Etsy might come in here and ban it directly. And then you lose everything. That's definitely not a good idea. And there's actually a workaround if you still want to use Lisa Simpson, but want to reduce the risk significantly to get banned. You can actually use AI to create something similar. Let's just do that. To make an example, I'm going to copy his logo, go into ChatGPT and copy pasting it in there. I tell ChatGPT to create a similar logo with Lisa Simpson and keep the same color palette, but change the character up so I don't run into copyright issues. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up. So this one looks a lot better already. Same face expression, but not exactly Lisa Simpson. It looks similar, but it's not a direct ban reason anymore. So that's a quick fix. 2 minutes to save your entire future business. I think it's worth it. Okay, let's go back to the store. In terms of metrics, he has a 5.0 rating with 9 reviews, 41 sales and 1.5 years on Etsy. That's a great result for a small store. If you pull up the farm layer roadmap, this will be layer 1. So you made your biggest step already, which is to get started. And now you're still below 100 sales. According to a roadmap, the primary channels are Etsy and eBay. So that's why we're doing this Etsy audit. And one of the skills to learn at this stage is product design. If I look at his products, they are well designed already. So the first step to layer 2 is already taken. What is missing then? The second focus point is to learn how to get traffic and sales. So let's have a look at the appearance of his listings. We have 8 listings, and from the get-go I can see that most of his listings are focused on Klein Tools modbox accessories. I think that's a great niche. There's a battery holder, a clip and also mounting brackets. But there are just some products like the cigarette container with lighter, JBL party box and also a battery holder that does not fit into the rest of his products. He has a great niche for the modbox, and we'll look at the sales number afterwards to confirm what I'm thinking. But as a first impression, if I would be a customer looking for Klein Tool accessories and came around his store, I would say, oh, that's nice, I would like to have these products for my modbox. But then it's like, but he's also selling cigarette containers. How does this work together? It's like going into a bakery and you expect to buy bread, but in between different bread types, you see battery chargers, a smartphone, and then I would ask myself, am I at the right store? Are they actually focused on making bread or selling random stuff? If people are coming into a store for a specific product or they have a specific problem to solve, the first thing you have to get is the trust of the customer. To build that trust, you need to convince them that your store can solve their problems. But when they come in and see a huge variation of different products that has nothing to do with each other, they will lose trust very quickly. At this point, we can already note down 2 action items. 1. Changing the logo or banner to not get banned. Number 2. Streamline products. The next thing customers will see are the product pictures, the thumbnail of the different listings. If I look at the different variations, first of all, it's clear what product he's designing. But I would say the pictures are a bit chaotic. The background is different, the angle is changing, and the color saturation varies quite a lot from listing to listing. So let's do an example and fix one of the pictures. Let's take this first listing. I will make the picture a bit bigger and save it, and we go to Photo Room AI. I'll upload the picture and the background is automatically removed. What we can do now is adjust brightness a bit. I will just play around to see how much I can improve the actual picture with some simple adjustment. I think saturation already good on this one. Add a bit of highlights and also make it a bit sharper. And there you have it. It's already, in my opinion, better. But what I think would make a difference is to add a background color that fits his color palette. If he continues to grow, people will recognize this color palette and will click on his listing with a higher rate. If they've already bought a product from him and are satisfied, they will see his listings within all the search results directly and click on them. Here we're coming back to the topic of building trust. There are some stores I follow that have a similar strategy. Like Introvert makes. It's one of our competitors in the coffee niche, and he does something similar with a yellow background. People looking for coffee accessories instantly recognizes his listing amongst other results. And if you bought already something before, you're more likely to buy something again. Presumably, the product was great. That's one great way to improve your store appearance. Let's move on to the metrics. I added his store as a competitor in eRank, so I can look into the different stats and the sales. And eRank is a great tool to support you in growing. It gives you data, suggestions for tags, and can improve your listings dramatically. What I'm interested in are his sales numbers. Let's rank the different views and see how they correspond with sales. Around 3 months ago, he added the Klein Tools mounting bracket, which is also number 1 in sales, with $600 in revenue. And just 20 days later, he added the wire spool dispenser, and these two are doing quite well. And here's the famous cigarette container we saw before, and you can see it's a relic from the past. And I think it's time to remove it. If we zoom out a bit, in terms of sales, he's doing 1 sale every 2 days. How does he get his views? He told me that he got 1,000 views in the last 30 days with a conversion rate of 1.5%. These are 15 orders from these views. And one way he drives traffic to his store is using Etsy ads. He has a daily ad spend of $5 and the average return on ad spend of 2.31. So for each $5 he spent, he gets a return of $12 roughly, which is acceptable for a high margin product. But I would be more comfortable if the return on ad spend would be around 4 to 6. So he has enough margin to justify the ad spend, I would say. On the SEO side, he's using all his 13 tags, which is great. I see he adapted his tagging strategy with his newer listings. He started doing 2-word tags, which is a lot better. So you're covering a lot more spectrum compared to if you are just using 1 word at a time. Since you're limited in number of tags, you want to cover as much as possible. One other metric that is really important is the star seller badge, and he already got it. That means that he's consistently replying to messages within 24 hours, his shipping and tracking is on point, and that his reviews are top notch. And what this gives you is first of all more visibility within Etsy and Etsy search. It leads to more sales due to a higher trust rate from the customer. He's already doing a great job in this regard. Before we have a look at his main competitor, give me a like or subscribe if you want to see more of these Etsy audits. My goal is to provide you with as much value as possible with each video, so you can improve your 3D print business. And if you want to get access to all the tools and training, you can join our school community. Now let's move on to competitor research. Lipic Engineering is one of his main competitors, who has already 2,600 sales with 2 years on Etsy. While he's offering 10 different modbox upgrades, he has also accessories for other products. This is a common strategy. Create accessories for one product and then go wider. What these numbers from his competitors tells me is that he has a lot of potential to grow. But he has to do something better or different to create a USP, a unique selling point. This can be a product that nobody has, or can be the completeness in accessories for that niche. Let's move on to the next section, which will be the main growth blockers for his shop. In my opinion, he's on a good track. He needs to streamline his pictures and improve his listing consistency. But his main task is to focus on developing more and better products. Let's see what is the last listing he added. It's 1.5 months ago. and since then he didn't add a new product. He might have lost a bit of interest or motivation, or he's just too busy with his day job to find time to create new products. However, to get to layer 2, he needs to get back to designing and launching new products. That's the number 1 growth blocker. Number 2 is missing focus. This is chapter 2 in our Etsy blueprint. You need to have a clear focus on your niche and eliminate other listings that do not align. Number 3 is branding. Remove the copyright issue and improve product thumbnails with Photoroom AI. Okay, let's put together an Etsy Audit store for Marcus. We'll start with the visual representation. Here, I gave 3 out of 10 points. He has a logo, he has a banner, that's already a plus point. However, they need to be adapted due to that copyright infringement. His listings have the maximum amount of pictures, which is great. What is missing is a clearer background and videos for his products. He is fully dedicated to functional products, and a video to display how they work would be crucial. On the product strategy side, I gave him 5 out of 10 points. His niche is great, but he has to focus on it. Therefore, he has to remove the 3 different listings that do not fit at all into the store, and then he's really good to go. After completing the lineup for the Client Tools mod box, he can then go wider. There are many of these toolboxes that he can design upgrades to, which is perfect for future growth. On the SEO side, he's doing many things correctly. That's why 6 of 10 points. The only thing he needs to adapt is the tag strategy. It has to be consistent throughout different listings. On the growth metrics, I gave him 3 out of 10 points. Within this category, the listing cadence is the most important one. It's like uploading videos to YouTube on a consistent basis. Creating products on a consistent basis will boost your visibility since Etsy algorithm will see you as a serious seller. And the last point is marketing. 3 out of 10 points. He's already doing Etsy ads, which is great, but in order to level up, he needs to add Instagram and other social media platforms and start creating content. Content about how these tools can be used on a day-to-day basis and how his products solve problems that his customers have. So in total, 20 out of 50 points. I think there are still many things to do, but he's on the right track to get his first 100 sales and therefore level up to layer 2. Talking about leveling up. If you want to level up in business or in life, use Brilliant, the sponsor of today's video. Brilliant starts you with mastering the foundations, then helps you level up to increasingly challenging problems. Give your mind a daily workout with interactive courses in math, programming, science, AI, data and more. You will become a better thinker and problem solver, one hands-on lessons at a time. Whether you're learning to translate your ideas into code, build formulas, design electrical circuits, run simulations with data, or explore cutting-edge topics like AI. To learn for free on Brilliant, go to brilliant.org/3dfarmers. Scan the QR code on screen or click on the link in the description. Brilliant's also given our viewers 20% off an annual premium subscription, which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant. And now, I really want to know your opinion on this format of an Etsy audit. What category did I miss? And most importantly, do you want to see another Etsy audit? Let me know in the comments below. And happy printing, 3D Farmers!